Alright, what's up? It's here, and of course, welcome back to the channel. Now, in today's video, we're going to take a look at the top 15 most anticipated games of 2017. Now, first off, little heads up, I've been dealing with a bit of a cold, so of course, if I sound kind of nasally in this video, of course, I'm a little bit sorry for that, but simply cut me some slack, because this is what we're going to have to deal with for a little bit. Anyway, of course, as per usual, if you don't agree with this list, then simply share your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below. But without further ado, let's get to it. Number 15, Sniper Elite 4. Now, just like the previous titles, this one also continues the series' its World War II heritage, by in this case transporting the players across the beautiful Italian peninsula, from sun-drenched Mediterranean coastal towns to colossal Nazi megastructures, daunting forests and Gideon mountain monasteries inspired by Monte Cassino. You, covert agent and elite marksman Carl Fairburn, must fight alongside the brave men and women of the Italian resistance to help free their country from the yoke of fascism, and defeat a terrifying new threat with the potential to halt the Allied fight back in Europe before it even began.
People struggle on, afraid and in despair. But as a doctor, I know there's worse to come.
Number 14, Vampyr. Now, to be fair, I'm going to casually assume that this game is most definitely not for everybody. I, however, am definitely looking forward to trying this one out. I just like the genre. It's really that simple. Anyway, of course, London, 1918. The streets are dour, cold, and deserted. The Spanish flu is claiming dozens of victims each and every single day. And on top of that, a new scourge is lurking in the capital's sprawling slums. And those are, of course, vampires. As a high-ranking doctor recently turned into a vampire, you, Jonathan Reed, try to understand your new affliction. Your quest of intuition, discoveries, and struggles will of course be filled with death and drama, while you attempt to stem the irresistible thirst that constantly drives you to take in human lives. As you cling to what remains of your humanity, your decisions will ultimately shape the fate of your hero, while searching for answers in the coughing, foggy aftermath of the Spanish flu. Next up, Prey, a game that I've personally heard nothing but good things about. Of course, in this game right here, you awaken aboard the Talos 1, the space station orbiting the moon in the year 2032. You are the key subject of an experiment meant to alter humanity forever, but things have gone horribly wrong. The space station has been overrun by hostile aliens, and you are now being hunted. As you dig into the dark secrets of Talos 1 and your own past, you must survive using the tools found on the station, your wits, weapons, and of course your mind-bending abilities. So I think it's safe to assume that at least some of the experiments went according to plan. That's all the good news we've got for now though. Because of course the fate of Talos 1 and everyone aboard is in your hands. Number 12, Spider-Man. In this case, it's Spider-Man for the PS4. Now, to be fair, by the time the full game comes out, hopefully the title of the game itself will be a little bit more exciting, but let's be honest over here, you can't really go wrong with this one, because obviously, Spider-Man is arguably one of the world's most iconic superheroes. Now, this game, just like all the other ones before it, features the acrobatic abilities, improvisation, and web slinging that the wall crawler is famous for, while also introducing elements that have never been seen before in a Spider-Man game. From traversing with parkour and utilizing the environment, to the new combat and blockbuster set pieces, it's a Spider-Man game unlike you've ever played before, or at least, apparently so. Now of course in this case, Marvel and Insomniac Games have teamed up to create a brand new, but at the same time authentic story. Now in this case, it isn't the same Spider-Man we've met before, or of course seen in movies. This right here is a much more experienced Peter Parker, who has mastered fighting big crime in New York City. Some things however never change, because at the same time he's struggling to balance his chaotic personal life and career, while the fate of 9 million New Yorkers rests upon his shoulders. Number 11, Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. Apparently the 19th main installment in the Legend of Zelda series, and quite frankly, I've never played any of them, and apparently I should feel ashamed because of it. Anyway, in the past, the many races of Hyrule lived together in harmony, the Sheikah's blue aura providing life to the land. Now to be fair, I probably butchered that pronunciation, simply cut me some slack, alright? Anyway, that all ended when a beast that came to be known as the Calamity Ganon appeared. The hero and the princess attempted to stop the evil, but ultimately failed. As a last resort, the Sheikah awakened 4 divine beasts and a mechanical army that they created in secret. They managed to seal Calamity Ganon inside Hyrule Castle, but out of fear, the King of Hyrule and his people banished the Sheikah from the land. Now in present day, Link awakens from a deep sleep. In fact, he's been asleep for 100 years. as a mysterious female voice guides him to the now ruined kingdom of Hyrule. He meets an old man and learns that Calamity Ganon has been sealed in the Hyrule Castle for 100 years. Although trapped, Calamity Ganon has continued to grow in power, and Link must defeat it before he breaks free, and of course destroys the world.
The beast. When the beast regains its true power, this world will face its end.
Number 10, Days Gone. Now, if I'm not mistaken, this is once again a PlayStation 4 exclusive, but of course, simply correct me if I'm wrong. Anyway, take on the role of former outlaw biker Deacon St. John, a drifter, a bounty hunter, and above all, a wandering vestige of humanity. In a world devastated by a global pandemic, St. John avoids the quote-unquote safe wilderness encampments, of course set up by mankind's last survivors, and takes his chances on the broken roads. Set against the scarred volcanic backdrop of the Pacific Northwest, Days Gone invites you to explore a world ravaged by degenerate human monsters, known only as Freakers. You know what, I feel like nowadays it's too mainstream to call zombies zombies. I feel like with every new game or every new TV show that launches, it's always set in a kind of like alternate universe, because obviously if a zombie pandemic actually broke out these days, we'd know exactly what we're dealing with, and of course we'd know exactly how to stay on top. Then again, my stamina would probably get the better of me, aka the lack thereof. Fight your way across the desolate landscape in search of supplies, resources, and above all else, a reason to keep going. Number 9, Uncharted The Lost Legacy, a game that I'm definitely looking forward to. Again, a PS4 exclusive, of course. Anyway, from the critically acclaimed developer Naughty Dog comes the first standalone adventure in the Uncharted series. Fan-favorite character Chloe Fraser must enlist the aid of renowned mercenary Nadine Ross, of course, from Uncharted 4, A Thief's End, in order to recover a fable, and to be fair, I've never seen that word in my life, so simply correct me if I'm wrong, but basically, an ancient Indian artifact, and keep it out of the hands of a ruthless war profiteer. Together they'll venture deep into the mountains of India in search of the legendary artifact. Along the way they'll learn to work together to unearth the mystery of the artifact, fight their way through fierce opposition, and prevent the region from falling into chaos.
You're late. I thought you were professional. Oh, you should relax. You'll live longer.
Number 8, For Honor. Again, I definitely plan on playing when it launches. I think on the 14th, that's Valentine's Day. It's going to be a lonely one for the missus. And if I'm not mistaken, there's also going to be an open beta on February the 9th, so definitely expect some gameplay. Anyway, of course, in this case, the bloodthirsty warlord Apollyon believes the people of the knights, Vikings, and samurai have grown weak and wants to create an age of all-out war through manipulation of each faction. To this end, the perspectives of characters within each faction are shown as events are shaped, battles are waged, and agendas are created, all whilst Apollyon works to ensure continuous sparks of conflict between the Legion, the Warborn, and the Chosen. Choose your warrior amongst a variety of bold knights, brutal Vikings, and deadly samurai, each with their own weapon set, playstyle, and of course customization options. Storm castles and fortresses in massive battles and confront deadly bosses in intense duels to ensure the survival of your people. Wield the weight of your weapon and feel the power of every strike through the system that puts you in total control. Number 7, South Park The Fractured Butthole. Now, to be honest, I was a big fan of the last one, which was of course The Stick of Truth. However, I was a little salty with the fact that some parts were actually censored in my country. Nowadays, though, I live in England, so hopefully that's not going to be a problem this time around. Anyway, of course, evil stirs the town of South Park, and the Coon has sworn to clean up the trash of society. However, when the Coon and friends investigate the disappearance of a local cat, they discover the threat is far greater than any of them realized. Allied with the mysterious new kid and his powerful butthole, will the intrepid group of superheroes be able to harness their amazing powers and save the town? Also, a little fun fact, this time around, the new kid can also be a girl, and as we all know, girls don't fart, so we'll just have to wait and see how that pans out.
You okay? No, seriously, you guys. He fucked the shit out of my brains. I grabbed him. We fought for a little bit, but his mental powers are too strong.
So we did all that for nothing?
Not quite.
Number 6, Detroit Become Human. Of course, inspired by the short called Kara all the way back in 2012, Detroit is a neo-noir thriller set in the near-future city of Detroit. Androids who look exactly like human beings have replaced humans in most tasks, of course. The workers, babysitters, gardeners, nurses, teachers. Surely by now you get the deal. The story of Detroit starts with an unexplained incident that begins to affect the androids. Some disappear without any explanation, whilst others have unexpected behaviors and strangely show signs of emotions. The rumor of quote-unquote deviant androids starts spreading, but of course no one seems to know what's really happening. In this case, the game is about emotion, about dilemmas and making difficult decisions. And it's not just about androids becoming aware of themselves and their fight to be free. It is about a story that resonates at many levels in our own world, about being free and of course about becoming who you really are.
I've spent my life taking orders. Now it's my turn to decide.
That's gotta be the warden's office. If there are any prisoner records, they'll be in there. We need to get inside and see what we can find.
Number 5, Ghost Recon Wildlands. Of course, the 10th installment in the franchise, and this time around we're presented with an open world environment. Definitely a pretty good step. And of course, the last Ghost Recon game that I played was Ghost Recon Future Soldier, which, like the title says, is set in the future. This time around, however, we're going back to the roots, or at least setting-wise. Now, in this case, the game is set in Bolivia, which has become increasingly unstable as the Santa Blanca drug cartel gains more power and influence, to the point where Bolivia has become the world's largest producer of cocaine. The rising power of these drug cartels concerns the United States government, as Santa Blanca's influence has begun to spread beyond Bolivia. As a result, the United States Army dispatched an elite special forces operation unit called the Ghost. And of course, we're not talking about the ones from Call of the Ghost, don't worry. To destroy the cartel and reveal the connections between Santa Blanca and of course the local government. Number 4, Battalion 1944, of course a World War II shooter. Now in this case, there's one main reason why I picked this one over, let's say, Days of War. And that's because this one is also set to release on the PS4 and the Xbox One. And of course, me personally, I'm a bit of a console pleb, so in that case, I'm simply going to have to go with this one. Of course, Battalion 1944 recaptures the core of classic multiplayer shooters and propels World War II into the next generation. Battalion 1944 utilized the most advanced industry technology to create a visceral and heart-thumping multiplayer experience that has been crafted by the designers who've grown up playing Medal of Honor and Call of Duty 2, two games that are definitely near and dear to my heart. Fight in the real-world locations such as the streets of Carentan, the Forest Bastogne, and many more, and our spiritual successor to the great multiplayer shooters of the past. Precise aim with the Kar 98, covering fire with the M1 Garand, and quick thinking with the Thompson are key to your success, all packaged into a competitive multiplayer environment.
We will accept nothing less than full victory. Good luck.
There are no guarantees on a voyage that will take us 2.5 million light years away from home.
Number 3, Mass Effect Andromeda. Now of course, if you played the previous 3 games, surely you're going to get your hands on this one as well. But the main reason I put this one this high up is simply because, for those of you that have never tried this franchise, definitely be sure to give it a go, because quite frankly, you're missing out. Anyway, of course, in this case, the game takes place 600 years after the events of the first Mass Effect games, of course in the Andromeda Galaxy, who would have guessed. The player's journey began during the time in which Mass Effect 2 takes place, separating the new setting from the events of the third game. The main characters are brother and sister, both embarking on a journey to the Andromeda Galaxy. Of course, the player gets to choose which one of two you want to play as, but of course the other sibling continues to be an important part of the plot, a significant non-player character. Now these two are the children of Alec Ryder, an N7 Special Forces soldier, and are designated as Pathfinders, operatives tasked with discovering new planets for the human species to colonize. They explore an open-world galaxy aboard the starship Tempest. Number 2, Horizon Zero Dawn, obviously the game that I plan on grinding out. Anyway, the next era of mankind. In a large post-apocalyptic world where nature has reclaimed the ruins of forgotten civilization, pockets of humanity live on in primitive hunter-gatherer tribes. Their dominion over the new wilderness has been usurped by the machines, fearsome mechanical creatures of unknown origin. Players Aloy, a young hunter on a quest to discover her destiny among the remnants of the ancient past. Shunned by her own tribe since birth, Aloy has learned to harness her agility, cunning and deadly aim to hunt the machines, defend against the rival tribes, and survive in the unforgiven wilds. Journey through a world filled with strange artifacts and crumbling ruins to unlock its deepest mysteries. How did the machines come to dominate this world, and what happened to the civilization that came before? The answers may determine Aloy's fate, and of course that of humanity itself. And then finally, at the number 1 spot, we have Red Dead Redemption 2. Now, to be fair, as of right now, we know absolutely nothing about this game. Apparently, it's going to be a sequel, or at least that's what a lot of people have concluded based on the little teasers we've seen so far. But as of right now, we're simply going to have to wait and see. This, however, is definitely one of the most anticipated games of 2017, just because the entire gaming community went absolutely crazy the moment Rockstar launched that initial teaser trailer. Now, of course, I know what you're thinking at the moment, what about The Last of Us 2? To be fair, there's only one reason that one didn't make it on the list, and that's because I personally don't think that we'll be seeing that one this year. I'd say at best mid to late 2018. But of course, we'll just have to wait and see how that pans out. Obviously, if that one does turn out to come out in 2017, then surely it deserves a spot on this list as well. Probably either number 1 or number 2. Doesn't really matter which one. Anyway, of course, let me know in the comments down below what you think of today's list. Of course, if you enjoyed this video, some support, a like rating would be very much appreciated. If not, that's cool. If you want to, you can also follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. You can find all those things down below in the description. And as per usual, if you want to suggest a video, then simply hit me up on Twitter. And then finally, in fact, as always, thank you all so much for watching. Thank you for the continued support. And of course, I will catch you in the next one. Take it easy.